Hello, everyone. Welcome to cricketworld.com. We are back again looking at week two of IPL 2026. As always, I've got my friend and colleague Nikhil Narayan with me. Nikhil, a lot of things happened in the second week of the IPL, but one thing that stood out in my mind is what's going on with Ajinkya Rahane. He's getting a bit agitated, getting a bit irritated. He feels that everybody's conspiring against him, everybody's jealous of him.
Yes, Chandresh. Ajinkya Rahane, couple of reactions, not quite wanted, of a captain. He got a bit frustrated when he was asked about his strike rate. And if you look at the numbers, it's a mixed bag. He was very poor in the period before 2025. I mean, striking between 100 between 2020 and 2024. Last season, he took a strike rate to 147.7, but the criticism was for his innings against Sunrisers Hyderabad when chasing 226. He just scored 8 of 10 balls, so the criticism was justified. But Rahane should have sort of, held his cool. Also, he was also his reply when asked about Cameron Green not bowling, he said, "Ask Cricket Australia." Also, you can understand the bit of frustration because Cameron Green went for 25.2 crores and he was not contributing with the bat. Also, he was not allowed to bowl by Cricket Australia till the very last match, in which he bowled the 19th over and conceded, I think, 16 runs, and that changed the complexion of the match. Kolkata Knight Riders has not won any of their matches. Shah Rukh Khan is having animated talks with Venki Mysore. A lot of things not going right for Kolkata Knight Riders. You can understand Ajinkya Rahane's frustration.
And David Miller continues to be the tragic hero of T20 cricket. He always seems to be on the wrong side of history when it comes to chases in T20 cricket.
Unfortunately, the brilliant 41 unbeaten of 20 balls against his erstwhile team, Gujarat Titans, refusing to take that single. I think it was the right call, if you ask me, Chandresh, personally. The probability of David Miller getting two of the last ball in form versus the probability of Kuldeep Yadav getting a single of the last ball, I would put my money on David Miller. Right call. Unfortunately, he missed the ball and there was a run out.
And interestingly, the bowler of the tournament so far, and you will probably agree with me, has been Ravi Bishnoi. He's looked good so far, along with obviously Yuzvendra Chahal bowling well over there. And the more established spinners, Kuldeep Yadav, Varun Chakravarti, have not done well. So Ravi Bishnoi has been a breath of fresh air.
Absolutely. Leading wicket taker, 7 wickets, striking at 7.7 only. Player of the match against the Titans, 4 for 41. Picked up the crucial wickets of Hardik and Tilak Verma, effectively budding Mumbai Indians chase in Guwahati. He's bowling slightly slower, flighting the ball a little. He's getting the extra wickets. So I think Ravi Bishnoi, has been the standout bowler of the tournament so far.
And just also looking at the teams overall, the multiple champions, Mumbai, Chennai, they are failing right now, Chennai especially. But Rajasthan's young brigade, especially their top order, has been a revelation.
Absolutely. Rajasthan, Suryavanshi and Jaiswal rollicking starts in all three matches, and that has been, the X factor for Rajasthan Royals in this tournament. Scores of 74, 69, and 59 in a 3.2 power play rain encountered game. Combined 225 runs, most runs by any pair at a stunning strike rate of 212. Suryavanshi and Jaiswal going all guns blazing, and therefore Rajasthan is unbeaten this season, Chandresh.
Yeah, and also looking at some interesting developments in the tournament so far. It's been fun to watch Lungi Ngidi's spells because he's really kept the batsman in check with his slower ones, which he has learned from Dwayne Bravo during his time at Chennai.
Absolutely, 110 kilometers per hour or thereabout. A lot of batters do not see the slower ball. Even if some of them see, they cannot understand. They cannot get the dip and he's bowling a lot of off cutters. Putting a lot of revs on the ball. He's developed this slower ball. He mastered it in the T20 World Cup. He's learned from the master Dwayne Bravo during his time at Chennai Super Kings. And Lungi Ngidi, special ball. The slower one, it's absolutely brilliant. It's a master class to watch him bowl.
And also, did you see Avesh Khan put his bat out when the winning run was hit in the game against Sunrisers Hyderabad? There's a lot of debate online about it. Quite avoidable what he did, though the game was won, but he didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the ball was still in play, and Avish hit the ball with his bat. Of course, it was a foregone conclusion the ball will go to the boundary. But ideally, it should have been a dead ball. If Sunrisers had appealed, I think it should have been a dead ball, and a 5-run penalty could have been avoided. That's up to the discretion of the umpires, though. But if that was the case, then instead of single run of two balls required, it would have been 6 runs of two balls, and the game would have changed on its head. So, interesting developments there. I don't know why Sunrisers, maybe for the spirit of the game, they did not sort of, appeal. But I can imagine some teams would have appealed, and the result could have been very different than Chandresh.
One final thing, what's that one big stat that we can look out for in this tournament so far that has stood out for you?
In the second week, Tim David scored a brilliant unbeaten 70 of 25 balls against, coming into back in the 15th over against Chennai Super Kings. Only one batter has scored 70 plus runs after starting at later than that stage in men's T20 encounter, and that was Daniel Sams, who scored 71 against Sussex in 2022. So that for me stood out. That stat, Tim Davis 70 of 25 coming into bat in the 15th over, Chandresh.
And is there a upcoming trend that we should look out for in this coming week?
I think that trend has started to emerge. We've seen the likes of Ravi Bishnoi and Rashid Khan starting to dominate the wickets column. I think more and more leg spinners, wrist spinners rather, will dominate the wicket charts. Yuzvendra Chahal, Kuldeep Yadav might also join the party, and some lesser known wrist spinners. As the wickets get slower, the summer spreads pan India. I think the wrist spinners will come into play more and more, Chandresh.
Okay, let's see what happens in the third week of the tournament. We'll be back again at the end of the third week. Remember, you can comment on all our videos, like, share, subscribe, and comment, and let us know what you think about our conversations. That's it for now. It's goodbye and God bless from both Nikhil and myself.